Hey everyone, okay, got a great question from my Snapchat, BrianK019. So if you're not following me on there, definitely head over to my Snapchat. Basically, what should I eat before and after a GAA game? So depending on your specific goals, the answer is going to be different. So if, for example, in my GAA Lean Body program, there's different nutritional strategies based on your goals. So if you're a guy looking to build muscle or tone up and have that fitness model look, or you're a girl looking to lose body fat and speed up and build power, you're going to have very different nutritional strategies because it's going to be based around your specific goal. But in terms of general things that will work for most people before and after games, I've spoken, and in my GAA Lean Body program, there's a carb load the day before, 48 hours before, depending on the person, so that the performance is maximized for a game. But it's not so much what's important before and after the game as what you've eaten the day before and the day before that. And I've done other videos speaking on that before. So the general rules that will work for you before and after a game is going to be based on your goals. But I will say what will work for most players is a good complex carbohydrate and a good protein source before and after you train or after you play your game. Because performance is key in GAA, assuming, say, for example, people in my GAA Lean Body program will be loading their carbs for a day before or 2 days before, so their glycogen levels are full, so they've got muscle glycogen, so their body can tap into that from an actual muscular point of view during the game, and then they may use green tea extract or a cup of coffee or something beforehand to make sure that they're mentally stimulated and that they're covered muscularly and performance-wise through your brain, so you're able to react quicker. But in terms of actually just eating what you eat before the game, a good complex carbohydrate and a good protein source. So for example, what's always worked for me is I like porridge before a game. Porridge and rice protein or whey protein, it works really, really well for me. It's a complex carbohydrate and it's a simple enough amino acid. Because it's liquid or powder, your body's going to absorb it quicker than actually having to break it down and digest it. So I find that works really, really well for me. But for you, it may be sweet potato and turkey. It may be brown rice and chicken. Whatever a good complex carbohydrate and a good amino acid source is going to top up your glycogen levels. It's going to give you a carbohydrate source you can use during the game, and you're going to have an amino acid to keep blood sugars and everything stable so that you don't get a spike down. Some people will have like lucozade and high sugary foods before games, which is fine assuming that's your strategy and you've built your glycogen stores, you fill them up and you're using glucose to keep you topped up. But just using those as your pre-match source of food isn't going to work, because what will happen is you'll get that kick for 15-20 minutes while you're warming up, and then blood sugars will drop and you'll actually have less energy and worse reaction time because your blood glucose levels in your brain will have dropped too much. And that's a mistake I see with a lot of people. So just be careful that doesn't happen to you. Then post-workout or post-gym or post-game, you're going to be more insulin sensitive. So a similar style of meal is going to work great here. I personally like a whey protein shake and a branched chain amino acid drink directly after a game to speed up the muscle recovery that you would have had during the game. You'll cover, regardless of your position, you're going to be covering a lot of ground during most GAA games. So you want to make sure you're getting your muscular recovery afterwards. Because you're constantly in a sprint start, you want to load your body with leucine, load your body with a BCAA straight after you train, and you'll get that from your whey protein and you'll get that from your BCAA drink. So personally, I wait 10-15 minutes, I have my shower, wait for the lactic acid to clear after a game. I then get my liquid amino acids, which is either whey protein and BCAAs or a combination of both, to speed up my muscular recovery. And then half an hour later, 40 minutes after the game, I'll have a complex carbohydrate and a protein source again. So normally sweet potato and chicken is my post-workout meal after a game to refuel the glycogen stores that I've lost so that I'm ready for training the next week, and to refuel any muscles and fibers that may have been torn during the game by adding in an amino acid and adding in a protein source in there. So for example, for me, my pre-workout meal normally looks like oats and rice protein. That's what works for me. It may be different for you, and depending on if you're in my leading GA program, you may have a different protocol based around your specific goals. But assuming it's just performance based, and you're, again, if you're trying to build muscle, you're going to have a slightly different nutritional plan during the week. If you're trying to lose body fat, it may be slightly different during the week, but pre and post game is normally going to be pretty the same. And then post workout, directly after the game, I'll have amino acids, whey protein and BCAAs, and then 40 minutes after that I'll have sweet potato and chicken, and that normally works great because you're covering your complex carbs, you're covering your amino acids, and then the rest of the day make sure you're getting your vitamins and minerals and other meals as well. So I hope this video helps. Again, it's going to be very specific on your goals, and the nutrition, how your nutrition will look during the entire week is going to be specific whether you're trying to lose body fat, build muscle, do both, improve performance, whatever it is, your nutrition will look different, but that's generally how mine looks during games, and hopefully this video has supported you. So please tag your teammates below. If you're watching this on Facebook, I'll be replying for the next 24 hours. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys soon.